So Steve Birnbaum announced today. So thankfully, we're recording today. Steve Birnbaum saying that basically he is done. He is retiring. Talked a lot. Really, I don't know if you had a chance to
I did.
To sort of read some of what's been going on, but and for those of you who haven't read, it sounds like he is in immense pain right now, says he can't play with his kids because he's in so much pain. And I think he is finally decided that it's time. It's interesting, and maybe you want to read some points. Give me some of before we get into that, I have some thoughts on Steve.
Yeah.
Give me some of your thoughts on Steve.
Yeah. Just on the state he finds himself in, calls back to Ben Olsen a little bit as far as inability to do basic things. I think maybe to a lesser degree, Steven Strasburg, who just retired and couldn't hold his kid or couldn't lift his arm up, had to sleep on his side, a whole bunch of crazy stuff due to the problems that he encountered from pitching. I think we have always been worried about Steve, right? For a while now. He has had many, many concussions. He has thrown his body into any challenge he could possibly find, whatever it would take to do his job. I think we could talk more about sort of what his legacy is with the club, but there's one thing you could not ever doubt was that he was tough, and that he would play hurt, and he would do whatever it took to try to stay in the game and try to make the play. So it's been 11 long years. For a long part of that, other than the concussions, he was really healthy. I think the lower body stuff, the knee, really, really took a lot out of him. He said he's got no cartilage left in his knee. It's just bone on bone. He's going to need the article with Goff that you're referring to said that he's going to need a new hip. He's going to need a new knee. That's a daunting. He's only, how old is he? 33? I think he's 33. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's daunting to think about. You got two kids, you have a wife, you're 33, and you're going to need new. That's a big surgery. I mean, obviously, but it is a major recovery. So, I think this is the right call for him. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also the right call for the club. And I want to make sure I call that out. I think that we don't know what has been happening. This was not a surprise. It's the response from some of the players and about this happening. It's like, oh, this is kind of hoisted upon you. This was a bit of a surprise. If you listen to the way Troy has talked about Steve this year, there's subtext of he is trying. He is doing his best. He just wants to make it back to try. And he said he wanted to give it one more shot, basically, is kind of where it was at. And he wasn't able to practice consecutive days. It's similar to Ben at the end of his career here. It's just he's just trying to eke it out, just trying to get through the week as best he can, just to try to get on the field. So that was been the case all year long. But here it is, July 16th, prior to the beginning of the secondary window opening or closing. It's been open since July 1, right?
Yeah, it's open. No, it's open July 18th. It's a couple more days.
So before that even happens, he retires. So that means he gets he's done. He's on the salary cap. The hit for him for half of this year is going to be off the table for DC United. So that is space. He was also a TAM player, I believe, at 800,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is a big benefit for this club. Does that mean that there's more room for more players, or was this the move that allowed them to get Boris Eno in? And the reason why that you think that should be the case is if you read Steve Goff's article about Eno's signing, they thought they couldn't get him in here without being a designated player, but then conversations happened and they were able to get him in. So clearly that says to me very much the point that you made earlier, that these two moves are related.